everyone, welcome back to the tower and Happy New Year. I cannot believe it's already 2022 after taking the time to reflect on everything that happened last year in last week's video. It is just wild how fast it all flew by and that we are finally starting a new year. As I'm filming this, it's currently January 4th, so we're a few days in, and so far so good, which is great. But I wanted to make sure that I was doing everything I could to keep up that energy from last year, keep up that happiness from last year, and hopefully continue to move forward instead of kind of stagnating after all of the crazy stuff that happened last year. I'm very big on New Year's. I love New Year's Eve. I love New Year's Day. I love the element of reflecting on a past year and really goal and intention setting for a new year and kind of dreaming about what you want to happen in that new year. In 2021, I did not do anything related to resolutions or things I wanted to happen because after 2020, I was like, nope, I'm not even going to put anything out into the universe. I don't want to get my hopes up. I don't want to even have expectations for the year. So last year was the first year ever at least in my adult life, that I have not done resolutions, which was weird. But if I go through the notes on my phone, I have a list of my New Year's resolutions every year going back, for my entire adult life. And it's so great to look back on and see the things that, I have worked on in the past that I've successfully done and achieved and moved forward from, as well as the things that have kind of floated by the wayside that maybe don't matter to me as much anymore. And some things that are still on my resolution list every year that I am constantly wanting to work on and better myself in that area. So I love having these as a point of reflection, not just for the current year, but also to continuously go back and look at years past. So this year I wanted to bring that back. Even though with COVID, we still don't really know what's going on or what this year is going to bring, I wanted to kind of bring back that trend and take the time to think about what I want for myself and my life this year. And some things are small and, basic, materialistic, whatever. And some things are big and, about me on a personal level and things that I want to work on to better myself. So kind of have a wide variety. I am not one to set one New Year's resolution. That's not me. I usually have about 10 or 12. I don't always hit all of them. I almost never hit all of them, but they're the things that I hope to do in a year. So just want to keep that in mind. As I reflected, as I built this list, I wanted to also share it here. I like hearing what other people's New Year's resolutions are, whether they're ones that you end up keeping or not. I just think it's fun to see what people think is important going into the new year or what some goals are that people have. So I thought that I would go ahead and share my New Year's resolutions with all of you. I would love for you guys to share your resolutions with me down in the comments as well, or things you want to call into existence this year, whatever the case is, or however you want to word it. But your dreams, goals, ambitions, things like that for the new year. So I also kind of wanted to give a disclaimer. These are going to be in no particular order. The way I go about formulating my New Year's resolutions is right after Christmas, I start thinking about what went well in the current year, what I would like to see in the new year, how I would like to grow in the new year. And just anytime I think of anything in my life that I'm like, that is something I could reasonably work on or achieve next year, I dump it into a note on my phone. And then once we actually get to New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, depends on what I'm doing that year as to which day I end up doing it, I go through and kind of organize it, fix any grammatical errors, stuff like that, so that it's neat and pretty for posterity. Randomly throughout the year, I will go back to that note on my phone. I will check off the things that I have accomplished and that I feel good about, and sort of refocus on the ones that I haven't had the chance to fully achieve yet, or that need more work and more attention. And usually I achieve about half of the list. So we're always overreaching and overextending when we make this list for sure, but it's fun for me. And I think it makes New Year's Eve exciting each year to see what I've fully accomplished. And it also makes New Year's Day exciting to kind of start fresh and really feel a sense of renewal. That being said, let's get started. So the first thing I have on my list is to keep up with a skincare routine. I am terrible at maintaining skincare. It is a fatal flaw of mine. It's horrible. I am not good with taking care of my skin at all. Starting back in high school when I started really wearing makeup, I've never been good about taking my makeup off before I go to bed. It comes off in the shower the next day usually. It's not good for me. It's not good for my skin. It's gross. And it is a fatal flaw. 2022, my goal is to clean my face every night, whether I'm wearing makeup or not. Like, I need to wash my face. I need to put on moisturizer in the morning and in the evening. I need to start taking care of my skin. I'm getting too old for this nonsense. So this one sounds very like basic, but it's something I really need to stick to because I'm almost 30 years old. I need to get my life together. So keep up with the skincare routine and, over time, maybe grow it and incorporate more things into it. But right now I am worried about washing my face and moisturizing my face, and that's it. And maybe I'll do a mask every once in a while, but washing and moisturizing are the two things I'm concerned about at the moment. Okay, so the next one is also kind of basic and has definitely been on my New Year's resolution list before, and that is to cultivate my wardrobe and kind of build an aesthetic that I'm happy with. So I'm not good at like having a defined style. It's also the case when it comes to decorating my house, so that's not what this is like about. I just pick out things that I like and want them to all work together, and that doesn't work. So a goal in 2022 is to actually like buy pieces with things in mind, build outfits, and hopefully eventually that will sprawl out into the rest of my life when it comes to like decorating my space and things like that too. Just picking a lane when it comes to style is something that I really want to work on and that I've wanted to work on for a long time, but I think 2022 is the year. Again, I'm slowly approaching 30 and I would just like to like have my life together, and I think that includes my vibe and my appearance. So cultivating my aesthetic and my wardrobe is definitely something I would like to accomplish this year. The third one is also kind of similar to the first two, and that is to organize my makeup collection and incorporate more quality items. I have a ton of makeup, and it's from so many different phases of my life. I am not good about throwing makeup out. I am not good about paying attention to when it expires, like none of that. So I just have a ton of makeup. I have makeup in colors that I will never wear. It's a mess. I have makeup that is like broken that I probably need to just throw out because it's like the powder is loose, stuff like that. And I just need to organize it and do better. I really want to get a vanity. Adam and I have a walk-in closet now. I mean, we have since we've lived in this house. So I want to have a vanity in our closet where I can completely get ready in our closet. And when I get this vanity, I want to make sure that all of the makeup that makes its way into the vanity is stuff I will actually use. So anything that is old, a color I won't wear, not in good condition anymore, I'm gonna throw away, I'm gonna part with, even though I'm a hoarder when it comes to stuff like makeup. I'm gonna get rid of anything that doesn't serve me anymore. And then from this point forward, I want to only buy cruelty-free items, and I want to buy things that are decent quality. I'm not one for like high-end makeup, but brands that I know I like. I know the brands I like at this point as, an adult, and I more or less would like to stick to that instead of just, I'm really bad about, oh, this is on sale, or oh, this is on clearance, like let me just grab it, maybe one day I'll want to use it. And no, I won't. I'm never going to want to use neon pink eyeshadow. Like personally, I am never going to use that. So like I just need to not buy things for the sake of, oh, it's on sale, or maybe one day I'll want to use this. At this point, it's like I don't even like putting my makeup on because I'm like, I have to dig through so much to find what I actually want to use. So just being organized where I can very easily find what I'm looking for and where I know that what I'm putting on my face is not bad for my skin. And it also ties into the having the aesthetic that I want to have. Like I've been wearing makeup long enough now to know the colors that I think that look good on me, like know the types of makeup that look good on me, and I don't need to bring in things that don't fit that anymore. So clean, organized, and higher quality makeup in 2022. The next one should come as no surprise because I say it every year all the time, and that is to, surprise, actually make YouTube content. I really do want to actually make videos this year. I love watching my old videos. I love looking back on who I was in 2015 and seeing the girl that was living her life to do another Disney college program. Like, it warms my heart to see that version of myself, and I can only imagine that 32-year-old Jessica would love to look back on 28-year-old Jessica and see what she was up to and what she spoke like and what her mannerisms were like and things like that. So I do want to make YouTube content, even if it is just for myself. It's something I really want to prioritize. And along with that, I wanted to use this time to kind of make a little announcement, and that is I am officially changing the name of this channel. I've talked about it before. I've thought about it for years, and I just never knew what I wanted to change it to. And I wanted something that was kind of catchy and that encapsulated me and encapsulated the things that I want to make for the channel, and I couldn't come up with anything better. So I've stuck with Tales from the Tower for a long time. But as I mentioned in my last video, I've recently gotten married and I have a new last name, and I loved our wedding hashtag, and as soon as we came up with our wedding hashtag, I knew that I eventually wanted to make that the name of my YouTube channel, because I think it does encapsulate what I want for the type of content that I make. So the new name of this channel going forward is going to be Magically Moscato. My last name is now Moscato, like the wine. Basically, I think it captures who I am at this moment and the things that, you know, again, I want to make for this channel. So look for that coming soon. Sometime this week, I'm gonna change the channel name. I've already made new channel art, and we're gonna update all of this, and it's gonna be a new year and a new channel. And going forward, it's still gonna be Disney, obviously, magically, duh. It's still gonna have that Disney element to it, but kind of the bio that I've changed a lot of my stuff to on like Instagram and Twitter and stuff is finding, if I'm not mistaken, it says finding the magic in the things I love every day. So not just Disney. Disney is a huge part of how I live my life and the things that make me happy, but also artists that I love, shows and movies that I love, and just existing with my friends and family. All of those things are magic, not just Disney. And so I think Magically Moscato is very fitting. That's the new name. That's what we're doing. Coming soon to a YouTube channel near you. Magically Moscato, and hopefully my plan is to upload videos every weekend. I haven't picked if it's gonna be Saturday or Sunday yet, but I am off on weekends, so I know that I should be able to get a video up realistically every weekend. So that's my plan, that's my goal. Hopefully I stick to it this time. Another one that's fun and that is also usually on my list is to stay in a new Disney resort. So one of my life goals is to stay at every United States Disney resort and as many international Disney resorts as possible. So I really want to finish making my way through, especially Walt Disney World. I've made my way through probably half, and I need to finish making my way through the rest of them. Yeah, as many places as I can stay that we haven't before would be so much fun. That's just always one that's on there so that I can inch a little closer to having that bucket list goal finished every year. My next one is to journal daily. I used to be obsessed with journaling, like highly obsessed. When I was in high school, I was never not writing. And most of the time it was just stream of consciousness thoughts, because I could not focus on anything that was happening in school. I was a good student, but I could not solely focus on what was happening. I needed to also be like dumping whatever was happening in my brain. So I have stacks and stacks of journals and pieces of notebook paper that were just in my binder that I was just journaling about the guy I liked, the Jonas Brothers, whatever was on my mind that day. And I think it was one of the healthiest things and habits I ever had, because I never kept anything fully inside. It was always coming out and always being written. And in my adult life, I have lost the ability to do that. I've lost the ability to just brain dump my feelings and my thoughts. And it's something I've tried to get back for a really long time, but I really want to get back into it this year, because I also love looking back on my writing the same way that I love looking back on YouTube videos, and I love seeing how I've changed, how the words that I use change, and how the things I'm going through are changing, and the things that excite me are changing. So I definitely want to get back into that. I miss that part of myself, and I want to have that to look back on too. So that's a big one that I hope to do this year. Improve my mental health and process negative feelings and trauma. So I don't want to get like too deep into this, but there's just a lot of things that have happened in my life that I've recently realized how the impact of those things has played out. And I really want to work on improving my relationship to those experiences this year and those memories this year. So ideally, I'd like to get back into therapy and again, journaling and things like that to just better understand myself and how those experiences have affected me. So just want to get into my healthiest state of mind and to, you know, not be weighed down by things that happened ages ago. That's an important one. One that is also always on my list is to continue to grow Adam and my relationship. Adam and I are probably in one of the best places we've ever been. You know, we just got married. We're very happy, but I think there is always room to continue to grow and to improve and to be a better partner and to be better at communicating and things like that. Like, I just genuinely think there is always space to continue to be better. So that's pretty much always on my list, is just to constantly take inventory of how we feel in our relationship and how we can continue to make each other, better and propel each other forward more, and how we can be better ourselves for each other. So that's always on there, but it still bears repeating because it's important to me this year too. Actually, probably the most important to me this year now that we're married. That's always a big one on there. Another one that kind of ties into what I just said is to be better at communicating. I am a through and through people pleaser, and because of that, I tend to not do great at communicating my own feelings because I don't want to hurt anyone else's feelings, and I don't want anyone to prioritize my wants or needs or thoughts over their own. So I'm really bad at just saying what I think or what I feel in a lot of situations, or I'm like at a breaking point and I just spill all of my thoughts and feelings. It's never like in the middle, it's always one or the other. So working on being better about calmly articulating my thoughts and feelings, and appropriate times to do that and things like that. Being more mindful of who I'm communicating with so that I'm communicating in a way that makes sense to them. Generally being more mindful about how I communicate with others. And then lastly is to do something to celebrate all holidays. I mentioned in my last video, I have a new job now. And along with that new job comes a set schedule Monday through Friday and like all government holidays off, which I've never had the luxury of having before. So at my old job, I had Christmas Day, Thanksgiving, and Easter off. And other than that, there were no guarantees of what we would have off for holidays. So it was really hard to plan if I wanted to do a cookout for 4th of July, or if I wanted to have a Christmas party, just anything like that. It was hard to plan because even though I had the weeks leading up to Christmas to do something, I never knew which days I would have off. So it made it hard to plan things. And having a set schedule and knowing ahead of time what days I will have off makes it a lot easier to, I think, coordinate those types of events. So this year, I really want to make sure that we do something special and commemorative for pretty much all holidays. I just really want to be able to take the time to commemorate those days of the year, even if they're ones that are not my favorite. I don't necessarily like passionately love 4th of July. It's not my favorite holiday, but it's a fun day to, have a cookout, go swimming, do whatever with our friends and family. And so knowing that I have that day off, if friends or family are able to come and celebrate and do, fun things with us, then I want to do that. Next December, I would like to have a Christmas party one weekend, and, I know I have New Year's Day off, so I would like to do a New Year's Eve party or a New Year's Eve get together or something. So just making the most of this time that I am working for a company where I have a set schedule, because I want to do what I can to appreciate it, since I haven't always had that. And that is my list of New Year's resolutions for 2022. There's some that aren't super deep, and there's some that are, and there's, some that are easier to do than others, but that is what I am hoping to accomplish throughout this year as far as, long-term goals go, and some simple and some complicated. And also, as I mentioned, I'm really trying to actually, stick with YouTube this year. So please like this video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe if you like, Disney content and whatever else this year may bring that I decide to share on YouTube. So definitely subscribe if you're interested in seeing what's going on in my little corner of the world. If you watched all of this, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you all are having a great start to your new year, and I will talk to you soon. Have a magical day.